Well, I think we blew the radiator. We definitely had lost all our coolant in the reservoir. The light was dinging, saying that it was low on coolant, and the service check engine light was on. And so that was all dry, so I just filled it up with water. I could hear a lot of crackling and stuff coming from right here. And there's a lot of water right here. And that right there tells me that the radiator busted at the top in here. So we're still 4 hours away from our destination. We're all the way out in bumfuck nowhere. And we have a radiator that's bad, which means that we might be really broke down, actually, to the point where we're gonna have to get it repaired all over the road. That's not what I want to do. I want to get it back home. If I can get this load delivered and drive this bitch empty back home, I'll do it and try to not spend any money out here and just, we'll see what happens. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Right now I got water in it. I'm gonna see how far I can go. I'm gonna crank it over right now and see what we got. But I really would like to at least get this load off before anything else. I don't think that's gonna happen though. See how the steam blowing everywhere? There's steam everywhere. All right, so I was able to drive, you know, I probably drove about 20 miles right now to this Turkey Hill right here, Turkey Hill gas station, and I'm pretty sure they've got a dozen eggs in there, you know, because the brake and the radiator's at the very top. And I was able to drive here with it lost all the water out the reservoir, but I was paying real close attention to my gauges being my oil temperature, my water temperature, and none of those were abnormal at all. They stayed right where they should be. So we're gonna try the old crack half a dozen eggs or a dozen eggs in this radiator and see if we can close it up and top it off with water. So let me go in here and get some eggs. All right, so I got my eggs in here, got a dozen eggs, got me a coffee because it's cold out here and I'm not used to this Pennsylvania cold, wet weather. Down in Texas, it ain't like this. So here we go. We can see where it's been blowing coolant everywhere because I've got the fan on too to keep things cool. But yeah, it's broken right at the top. See all that fucking water running down it? So the idea is that the raw eggs will circulate and rise to the occasion, so to speak, and clog up the leak. So put my coffee down. Then I've got to get a lot of water too to refill this damn thing, which I don't know, we'll just have to see how that goes. But yeah, let's do this. Uh-oh. I wish I could set this phone up somewhere. It's one. All right, so you get the idea. I gotta use both my hands, so I'll tune back in. We're gonna put all these in there. All right, so we've got all the eggs in here. You can see the water went down a bit. You can see all the egg yolk right there. A dozen eggs in there, so hopefully this will fix it. I'm finna top that off some more because that definitely leaked down. Yay. Hope we can get this out. I hope we can get back to the house. Drop this load off and get home. Jesus Christ. gonna take to pull this radiator out. The hood is gonna have to come off. So I'm gonna have to stick something underneath the hood right here that's gonna support it while I take this off and pull intercooler rod, AC condenser, all this major stuff. Them eggs are definitely helping though. Time to cowboy up, yeehaw. Well, I think I spoke too soon. I think the thermostat just opened up and it just sucked down all that water. It just sucked it all down right now. The thermostat must have just opened up right as I shut the camera off. Just dump a little bit more water in there. But the one good thing is at least it's not leaking water anymore where it had been. I mean, it looks like it's clogged it up. I don't see any fresh water in there like I had, and because that reservoir wasn't completely dry, that leads me to believe that the leak is sealed from all the eggs I put in. So, next thing to do is to try to get this load off first thing in the morning, and I'll probably go get a fucking shower because I need one, and just try to get it back home. Try to find some light loads going back home and pray that I don't have any more issues, and that way I can go home and fix this son of a bitch. Well, I think the eggs might have sealed it up. That reservoir was not empty and completely dry like it had been. I just added maybe 2 quarts or a quart of water to it. I think I added a quart of water to it. So that tells me that I think the eggs did its job. And it's no wonder the eggs did its job because I did put a dozen eggs in there. I think I put way too many eggs in there. I think 2 or 3 would have did the job. But at the time I was so concerned about how much water I had lost that I put a whole dozen eggs in there. And I think I overdid it. But that being said, the warning light's still going on, but it's not flashing at me like it had been. But that's just because it's below minimum level. I don't want to fill it up too much. So, Lord have mercy. I'm gonna need to clean out the entire cooling system once I put the radiator in and this and that and flush it out real good. I'd imagine. And then I got a message from somebody on Instagram that said, oh, you're gonna ruin your heater core and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, what? I don't know. I didn't think about that. You know, I know 1 or 2 eggs is fine, I think, but he probably meant because I put 12 eggs in there that I'm gonna hurt some other stuff. But it is what it is. That's where we're at. Shit almighty. And I've still got 200 miles to go through mountains to get to Connecticut to drop this damn load off. And then 1,800 miles back, the shortest way back home. So we're just gonna have to see what happens, but I want to get back home without having to do the repairs out here where I'm gonna spend a couple $1,000s. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to get home. Well, it's doing exactly what it was doing ever since they popped the radiator. It's letting me know that there's no coolant in the reservoir, and then it's got the surface light on. That being said, my gauges are all normal. Water temperature right there is normal. The oil temperature right there is normal. So I'm just paying attention to this stuff. I don't know if those eggs sealed the job, sealed the deal. I don't think they did, but I'm hoping that they do or will. But because the brake is in the top of the radiator reservoir, or not the reservoir, but the radiator itself is in the top, it is able to hold some water in there. So as long as I don't overheat and I keep monitoring my gauges, I should be all right. Hopefully those eggs will clog up the leak, but I won't know until I obviously stop and add more water into the reservoir and take a look at what we got going on. But Lord have mercy. Owner operator shit, boy.
You know she do good on her knees. I finally discovered the breed. I'm glad I can see I'm the one that discussing. It ain't about the money you got me discussing. You like it, then he gotta love it. He go about 2 days just to get out too close to a nigga, cause I'm over budget. My homie keep begging to clean up a couple of niggas, but I ain't really budget. Gotta watch for the loss, so I really can't talk to you niggas. But fuck it, I'm over boss and I gotta be cautious. These niggas don't keep it 100.
Well, we made it to our destination, and this is not looking good. You saw that steam? Oh Lord, but we did make it though. We are here. My temperatures all looked normal from the oil temperature to the coolant temperature. Coolant temperature doesn't really matter because it's, you know, even though it wasn't reading hot, there's so little of it in there that, you know, it might not even be reading correctly. You know, I don't know, but the oil temperature was always normal. It was always at 210. So that being said, I'm just hoping we didn't hurt anything. I had every now and then, you can just hear it. Just boiling. I could smell every now and then a little like something burning. I don't know what it was, but it kind of scared me. But I just trusted my gut because my temperature was looking fine. So I'm gonna pop it. Just take a look at her. That sucker's dry. Golly, I hope I didn't hurt anything else. There's fucking coolant all over my brakes here. That thing's just blown out, dude. There it is. Yeah, the top of it's just busted. They didn't like the heat at all. Man, we might not be able to get this bad boy home. Coolant everywhere. The top's just blown out. The top of the radiator is just blown out. Oh, is that oil? No, that's not oil. That's just coolant spraying everywhere. Reservoir's bone dry, dude. It's just a lot of pressure. This is a bad situation. I guess them eggs did a little something, but not enough. Not nearly enough. There's the hole right there. Some JB Weld might fix that. It's hard to believe that this thing didn't read my gauges like it was overheating. I'm finna pop the top on that and dump some water in here and see where we're at, man. See if I can crank the truck back up and get a good reading on the temperatures. I was really paying more attention to my oil temperature than anything, but the water was definitely very hot. It got so hot that it obviously made that hole a lot bigger. All right, I just put a gallon of water in, and we got pretty much almost to the minimum fill level on the reservoir by putting a gallon in. And when you put it in right here, it runs down that hose to the water pump. And that's another concern I have, is running it with such little water going to damage my water pump. I'm also worried about that too. But there's really nothing we can do about it. But might try to get some JB Weld to fix that. I'm gonna turn it on right now and suck this water down and see what our temps look like. All right, we got oil pressure. There's the water temperature. There's the oil temperature. Water temperature. Let's see if we suck that water down. I'm sure it will. It took all the water. I'm gonna dump another gallon in there. I'm gonna run down the road to the store to get more water and a vape. So let's go out. And maybe some JB weld too. I might be able to JB weld that, honestly, just to temporary fix it. No bullshit, it smells like straight up eggs out here. I mean, it smells like eggs. It absolutely smells like egg. You know what it smells like? It smells like chicken fried rice with the eggs, minus the chicken. What is that Chinese food with the scrambled eggs in it? I don't remember. But yeah, we got a problem.